Welcome back, everybody, to the Tarot and Astrology forecast. We are going to be looking at April, looking ahead at what is coming up. And Haley, as always, is joining us. Haley Jane, welcome. We're going to be pulling tarot cards and seeing what kind of messages we have for the month ahead. Want to pull a card for the month overall?
Sure. Okay, let's see what we have for April. Okay. And maybe it's a good time to do some reflection on the eclipses and what that brought up in March.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a really good point, actually.
Yeah. So for April, we have the Eight of Cups and the Ace of Swords. This is really powerful energy here. And for me, it talks about leaving behind uh, a particular lifestyle, belief system, programming, way of being, and stepping out into something totally brand new, outside your comfort zones. You may even surprise yourself with the decisions that you make in April. Okay. So we have the Eight of Cups. This is a spiritual journey, right? You're walking away from something that you've invested a lot of time, energy, emotions into. And with the Ace of Swords, it's like it's not only a new beginning that provides clarity, but it also brings this reclamation of power, of sovereignty, of making powerful decisions it's almost like I'm seeing somebody who's realizing that their time in this world is limited
Hmm.
and they're like, okay, you know what? It's like a now or never energy, you know? Yeah,
Hmm.
sounds
Ooh.
good. I love it.
That feels very true for April. I don't know. I have this like gut instinct that it's just gonna be
Same.
insane in a good
Yeah,
way, in a good way.
of course. As
Always.
always. Yeah.
Yeah. I do think that's a great idea though, your comment to maybe say a few words about what we've just come out of.
Hmm.
Because depending on when people are listening to this, if they're listening to it kind of at the start of the month, eclipse season is still going on until April 7th. So if you're
Yeah.
listening to this up until then, like we're still very much in that energy and coming out of it. But it was an it's March was I napped a lot.
Yeah.
Like it was
Same.
a very busy time. I don't know a single person in my life who had an easy month or like had a quiet, chill, relaxed month. Even if a lot
Hmm.
of stuff wasn't going on in their life, they just felt it. Everybody's feelings seemed to be like, they could
Yeah.
feel that things were clearing and letting go. I know for me, definitely it was a time of reassessing how I see things and how I see myself. I had quite a few like, what moments around how I saw myself, how I'm thinking about things, how I identify, how I am conditioned to believe certain things, like related to my job, my career, what I'm doing, my friendships, just me as a person. It was very interesting, um, especially with this solar eclipse that's the on the March 29th. It's been a lot of letting go, and I'm
Yeah.
not bracing is the wrong word. I'm excited for when we're letting go of things, then there's something else has room to come in. And I just feel that strongly.
Yeah, it's like letting go. The better you are at letting go, then the easier it is for you to just receive, you know?
Yeah.
Non-attachment is a spiritual practice.
And
Yeah,
so much easier said than done. Like, oh, just let go. Don't be
I
attached. It's
know. Yeah.
just in practice, the experience of it is something else. It's incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, and it requires you to like loosen your grip on the securities that
Mm,
you've created for yourself that might not be super sustainable or beneficial for you, right? But we just as humans, we want to hang on to something, right?
yeah.
And everything is temporary and it takes courage to let go and to just kind of let yourself float through the atmosphere, right?
Yeah.
But that's where you get to experience the real magic of the dream that we're living in, because there's so much more than what we like to hold on to,
Oh my
so
God. Yeah. And even
yeah.
more than we can imagine too. That's what I'm starting to realize. Like that piece you're saying about courage being important happens when we realize that we can trust and let go. Like the trust piece for me, I know has been a really big one of like, I am supported. There is incredible things coming and I can't even see them or even imagine them.
Yeah.
It's magic, like you said. I love that.
hmm
Mm.
Yeah, I also felt a very deep cleanse in March. Deep cleanse, like mentally, physically, emotionally. I'm still cleansing. I'm still cleansing.
Yeah.
But there's more of a like a surrender to it, It's like, okay, this is part of the process and yeah, there's a rebirthing period. And I feel like it's a lot of what we're going to be experiencing in April for sure.
Yeah, I definitely think all the fruits of the labor that have happened with all this like clearing out are going to be starting to blossom. Like all the seeds we've been planting, all the work we've been doing. I have a feeling there's going to be a real positive twist to April for sure.
Exciting.
Oh, all right. Well, we dive in.
Mm.
Okay. On the day that we have the eclipse energy ending, so April 7th, which is going to be a week after the solar eclipse. That's the final closing of the portal and ending of eclipse season. April 7th, we have Mercury going retro direct. Mercury goes direct. Finally.
I thought you were saying, I thought you were gonna say it's going
I
retrograde.
know. That's because Mercury is retrograde right now as we speak and are recording this, so my
Oh,
communication
Lord.
is not great. Yeah, so it's going direct on April 7th, which is
Right.
amazing. It has been retrograde since March 14th, so pretty much since the start of eclipse season, which has obviously had a big impact on it. Mercury being the planet of communication, thinking, speaking, how we express ourselves. And so to have it go direct on April 7th will feel like a nice relief. Eclipse season will be cleared. This is going direct. Any struggles with technology or miscommunications really that have happened will start to subside. We won't be as likely to go through that because Mercury retrograde can be a really unclear time and kind of feel a bit foggy with our thinking. And in case you were feeling any of that, it will pass and it will start to pass heading into April the 7th and from April 7th onwards, which is great and a really welcome relief, I think, for the month
Mhm.
ahead. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that's great. I got eight of Pentacles and Cups.
Oh, Three of Cups.
Love these.
Oh.
So the message I get here is like, I think for a lot of us, and especially for a lot of people who watch this sort of content, like we're all people who do a lot of deep inner work, right? Like we use things like tarot and astrology and other forms of divination to see deeper parts of ourselves, to recognize any self-imposed limitations. And, the goal is to get to a place of peace and wholeness and prosperity in our lives, right? And and the message I get here is like, March for a lot of people may have been a month of a lot of inner work, especially working with this eclipse energy. It was a beautiful time to do that deep dive, to clear out what was no longer serving. And this type of work, as rewarding as it is, it can also be really heavy, it can cost us a lot of energy. And something that we need to remember is that life is not always about trying to improve or to dig into our shit constantly. Um, so in April, Spirit is encouraging us to like, how about just like take a break from that and go out and enjoy the life that you have, connect with your friends, be social, savor the abundance, the prosperity, the fruits of your labor, right? and find a sense of like self-acceptance and gratitude for where things are right now currently, right? Because that's also a really essential piece if we want to continue reaping in the rewards over time. Yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, no, like take a break on doing some of the deep dive and like go out and have some actual fun because life is not always about diving into your shit all the time, you know?
Oh, I love that. That's such a
Mhm.
great reminder. I actually, I mean, funny, but also not surprising that you say that because I had one of my teachers literally say that this week.
Oh, fun. Yeah.
Yeah, she was like, just,
Yeah.
you're not here to be doing all this processing. Sure, it's helpful to be of service and use your gifts and learn more about ourselves, and it has to be balanced with that, like go and enjoy life and don't take it too seriously.
Yeah.
So it's a great reminder. I love that.
Hmm.
Mm.
Yeah. It can be
Ah,
addictive though. That's the thing.
oh,
Because,
that's the problem,
you
right? And our ego
know,
will usurp it and use it then
mm,
as like, oh, we have to keep doing this
I
work,
have
and
to
it's like,
keep
oh.
fixing myself. I need to keep being better and better. And like, you know,
Sometimes just be where you are and enjoy
yeah.
that. So it's good. It's good.
Mhm.
I love that.
Mhm.
Um, okay, so next up in April, about a little bit less than a week later, on April 12th, we have Venus going direct as well. So both Venus and Mercury during this eclipse season have been retrograde, which has is a lot and not typical of a normal eclipse season necessarily, but the timings of it lined up that way. So on April 12th, Saturday, we have Venus going direct in the sign of Pisces. And so, like I said, it's been retrograde since about March 1st, so before eclipse season even started. The retrograde period of Venus, it may have brought up a lot of wounds or old heartbreak, or current heartbreak even. And it's a time that asked us for extra care of ourselves, to really tune into what do I need? How do I care for myself when these big feelings come up? How can I be aware and compassionate of what it is that I need, basically.
Mhm.
And so with Venus stationing direct in Pisces, we're going to be shifting this energy to move forward and release that past, release that hurt, realize that we can feel it and integrate it and not be stuck in it. Venus is exalted in Pisces, which means it's very happy in that position. It's really functioning at its highest capacity. And it's giving us the strength to heal those old wounds and let go of that past heartbreak and encouraging us to tap into that inner knowing that we have of like, we are more than this and deserving of more than this. And just now is the time, I think, for people to trust in their intuition and lead with their heart. That's all what Venus in Pisces is about, and she's going to be direct. So very, very supportive energy for trusting yourself and what those gut instincts are all about.
I
Yeah.
like that. That's nice.
Yeah, it'll be really beautiful.
Mm. The words that come through as you're saying it is like honor the depth of your love, you know? Like
Yeah.
I think so, and like I say this stuff about myself, like I hate how deeply I feel sometimes,
Yeah.
but it's actually such a gift, right? It's such a gift. And I know for me, like I can't in romance anyway, I can't like deal with this whole like 1 foot in, 1 foot out shit, you know? Like you I can't just give people parts of me. It's like the whole package or fuck off. You know?
Oh yeah.
The kind of like what comes up for me is while you're saying it is like it's like and I know a lot of people watching this are going to resonate. It's like no, like you deserve to be um loved and cherished and celebrated and accepted as the whole of who you are in your fullest depth, right? And it's important that we also validate those parts of ourselves as well, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. And I have a sense that this is going to be a good time for some self-forgiveness work, you know,
Hmm.
uh, holding on to people or situations that weren't in alignment with your values and who you really are. And allow yourself to, as you're cleansing those old wounds, just like allowing yourself to kind of like blossom in a new direction and allowing yourself grace and time and gentleness as you make that shift, right? Maybe some people who are watching this, they have never really experienced a healthy, supportive, loving partnership in their life, right? And now is like a turning point where you get to decide, like, you know what, this is what I'm worth and this is what I desire. And part of that is going to be turning your back away from things that don't match that dream that you have, right?
Mm.
So I have the Five of Pentacles, okay?
Oh.
And I have the King of Wands, right? So for me, this is like taking charge of something in your life with this, fiery King of Wands. And with the Five of Pentacles, it's like addressing any sort of like abandonment wounds that you're still carrying, right? And not only addressing them and letting them go, but making a powerful promise to yourself that you're going to use your discernment to only allow in partnerships or romantic interests that are healthy and maybe are a little different than something that you would usually turn to, right? Yeah, it's a big one. And again, like gentleness, grace, compassion, forgiveness. It doesn't have to be perfect, right?
Mm.
And you can take your time with this one as well. Yeah.
Mm. Oh,
Mhm.
that's so great. And I skipped a beat here because on the same day, on April 12th, the same day that Venus goes direct, we have a full moon in Libra. So like even more on top of that, like it's going to be the first full moon since eclipse season has ended, and it's on the axis of relationship, the Libra Aries axis. So it's
Wow.
yeah, it's a really potent time. Again, obviously full moons are really big and supportive for release.
Yeah.
And we've got Venus direct. Like it just there's so many things going on there. Like in a full moon, obviously the sun is opposite the moon. And
Mm,
meaning we're like shining a light and exposing anything that's hidden or dark or the wounds or the pieces that we don't want to look at. So just as the moon lights up the dark night sky during a full moon, we're trying to do the same with what parts of ourselves we're kind of hidden or pushing away or don't want to look at.
mm,
I think this full moon in Libra is also happening. I have it in my notes. It's happening conjunct Chiron. So Chiron is conjunct the sun during this full moon. So there's like potent healing energy for these deep, deep
wow.
wounds because Chiron's all about our wounded healer and where our greatest opportunity for healing is happening and we have the opportunity to have. So it's in a different place in everyone's chart, of course, but what you just said around really noticing compassion for ourselves around these pieces because this is going to be deep
Mhm.
and it's going to be a really, really powerful time to feel these, to integrate them, and to be able to see what is possible moving forward.
Mm.
It's great.
Wow, it's gonna be a it's gonna be a
It's a
big
big day. It is a big day. It's a Saturday, I think, the 12th. So I'm gonna
one.
plan to do something nice for myself because it might be just a tender day, but
Yeah, I
there's
think
beauty in that.
it's gonna be a good day to like reflect on your relationship patterns, right?
Yes, for sure.
And as you are exploring your options, maybe a good question to ask yourself is like, is this something that I am truly attracted to, or is this something that feels familiar to me,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because there's an odd comfort in connecting with those who match the unresolved wounds that we still hold, it's familiar. And so this is what you want to start asking yourself as you're making this pivot. in the people that you attract, right? And this is shadow work, right? It's
Mhm.
and any sort of shadow work around love, relationships, matters of the heart, that's going to that is that's an emotional journey, you know? So again, like and we just come out of eclipse season, so like chill.
Yeah.
Like take time, you know,
Yeah.
and don't be so hard on yourself if you find that you're still kind of stuck in those patterns, right? There's always going to be another opportunity to
Mhm.
break that chain and to move on. And again, like bringing it back to the very beginning, right? April does have that energy of making healthy, discerning moves in your life, right? And that this may be one of them. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I love that. It's also a good reminder that anything on the Aries Libra axis like that, full moons, new moons, it's all about relationship and looking at, and we've had a couple of these over the last little while because we've been the eclipse the cycle that we've been in is on the Aries Libra axis, and it would have ended at the end of March. But it's
Mhm.
interesting because it's a good time to just check in with how we approach relationships in terms of, are we on the super hyper independent end of the
Mm.
spectrum and like I don't need anybody? Or do we tend more towards the like I definitely need somebody all the time kind of codependent side, and just assessing where we think we are. Is there something we're avoiding or something that we're too attached to? And getting that balance, and noticing that we're all just working towards balancing it out better, but we're not perfect. And also, I really like what that reminder you said of at the start of April. It's like there's a lot of play here. There's a lot of like just taking a pause and stepping back and enjoying the life that we have. So not taking
Yeah.
it all too seriously, which is great.
We're we're all figuring it out all at the same time and nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
So,
If somebody
yeah.
does have it figured out, if they could let us know, that would be great.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks.
Nobody does. Yeah, it's great. Hmm. Okay, so next up, April 19th, we have Taurus season starting, which I think plays into this whole theme that we're mentioning. Like Taurus season is a beautiful time and a very welcome relief from the intense Aries and eclipse season that we would have just been going through. Taurus is like a very grounding time to reset.
Mm.
Spring clean, which we were just talking about before we started the recording, making your home and your environment cozy and enjoyable and having it set up for hopefully, the beautiful weather ahead that you can enjoy your space. It's an earth sign. So Taurus is like grounded. It reminds us that we are connected to everything around us, like that we are nature. And so spending time in nature during this Taurus season from April 19th onwards just will help to bring you back home to yourself and just really tuning in. So I think a lot of the energy of April is a big part of it, is this switch into Taurus season, which is beautiful.
Mm.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'm also seeing this message of like, be mindful of how you treat your home, okay? Um, if you want to attract more abundance, more prosperity, have a clean and organized house, right?
Mhm.
You know, like if money or if prosperity was a woman and you invited her over to your home, do you think she would
Ooh.
feel comfortable hanging out with you in your living room? Or would she be like, this place is a fucking mess?
I
Right?
love that.
Yeah. So, it's a good time to not, we just did this whole like internal cleanse with the eclipses in March. Now it's time for you to take care of your physical environment so that it can match the brand new, clean version of you, right? What is that saying? Cleanliness is next to godliness or something.
Ooh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think that's it. Yeah.
Is that how it goes?
There's
Yeah, and
something like that. Yeah.
it's true. Like, prosperity is a state of mind, right? It's a frequency, and your mental attitudes and your frequency is going to improve when you live in a clean, tidy house, right? And you invite more of that into your life. And so I got four of four of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles.
Mm.
So four of Pentacles can sometimes mean like holding on to things. Like I almost also getting like a vision of someone like who's like hoarding. Okay. So
Mhm.
be careful of that. Be careful of that, right? I love getting rid of stuff. I love getting rid of stuff. There's feng shui.
Mhm.
Those of you who don't know, it's like it's an art to how you organize your home to invite in a positive energy to flow through your home, right? So you might want to look at like some feng shui techniques. But I'm seeing here that something that you adjust with your home is going to invite in the abundance, the prosperity, the comfort, the stability, right? And then we also had the star card come out.
Ooh.
So for me, this is like it's positive energy and it's hope for the future, but for me it's also like it's it's a release, because like you see this woman, she has nothing on. She's like bare bone naked in nature, right? She's got nothing, she's not holding on to anything, right? And so you're being called to release the attachments that you have to your physical things and recognize abundance and prosperity as more of a, emotional fulfillment or like a spiritual embodiment in your life. Because when you make that switch, you don't need to focus so much on the physical. The
Mhm.
physical will always be there to support you along the way, right? So just notice your attachments to things that you place value on, okay? Because that might actually be blocking the prosperity that you're wanting to receive, right? So be careful of hoarding, holding on to
Mhm.
things, this is like you said, the good old spring clean, right? Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. Oh, it's great.
Mhm.
And then finally in April 27th, we have a new moon in Taurus. And
Great.
so it is beautiful. The moon is exalted in Taurus, so she is happy. She's at her happiest. Um, so when the moon is in Taurus and when it's exalted, it means the qualities and characteristics of Taurus are amplified, and it's really supporting the highest expression of the moon and her energy. So new moons are always about, as we know, and many of you know, new moons are a lot of the times about beginnings, fresh starts, and this moon is no different. If anything, it's more supportive of that because of you know, how the moon's energy is in Taurus and how supported it is. These new starts are based, so with the moon being in Taurus, Taurus is a very grounded energy. It's an earth sign. These new starts are going to be based in something real, something that has a substance to it. So it's going to very much feel real, whether that's tangible or like just something very noticeable. It's not going to be, it's not going to be more in the mind. It's going to be very, very real. It's a beautiful time to reflect on what you want to create, what you're looking for. New moons are a great time for setting intentions and planting those seeds, and really setting your intentions under this new moon to see them come to light and flourish over the next couple of weeks after this new moon has happened. It's a really, really, it's a great new moon to do this under, a really supportive one and just a beautiful energy. It's going to be quite a nice day, the 27th.
Mm. Okay.
Hmm. And it's a Sunday too, which is, I don't know. So it's just a nice,
I think it's gonna be a great self-care moment.
yeah, I think so.
Okay. Nice. So new moons are a really great time for manifestation. And uh, when it comes to this particular moon, there's something about combining feeling with your word. Okay.
Mm.
So I had the magician come out, which is a perfect archetype for manifestation, right? I also had the King of Swords, right? So being really clear on what you are attracting, okay? So, we can set the intention to manifest, but the reality is that we're always manifesting constantly all the time. We're always doing it, unconsciously unaware. Our energy body is constantly pulling things in, right? So again, that's another reason why it's so important to let go, right? So that we can
Mm.
make space. And when I say the King of Swords, it's like getting really clear, like mentally. What sort of thoughts are you entertaining? And what sort of stories do you hold about yourself that is attracting what you're experiencing in your life, right? We also had the Hermit card come out. So remember that your source it's within, right? The Hermit is all about connecting to the inner light and allowing that to guide you, right? And the message I see here is like, I think it's time for you to kind of turn off the chatter and allow this to guide your process instead, right? It's like you've read enough books, you've watched enough fucking YouTube videos, we've hired enough manifestation coaches by this point. Like the world is it's so loud with different opinions and people like, oh, just do what I did and blah blah blah. Like,
Mm.
and it's not saying that what they have to share is it's not valid, but something here about like recognizing your own unique process. And sometimes we can lose sight of this when we're searching for the way or the answer or the key to how it all works out here. But in reality, you already have it. You already have it. And so with the hermit, it's like getting real quiet with this particular manifestation that you're working on and letting your guides and your ancestors to give you the insights or to give you clarity on what the next step is rather than signing up for another manifestation challenge or something. Yeah, because it can get really confusing
Mm-hmm.
and overwhelming, right? But what I see here is like you already know what you need to do to get there, but we have to shut off the outside noise and reconnect with our own inner source of wisdom in order to get there.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I feel like you're talking directly to me, Haley. I'm sure you're talking to lots of people, but I'm like,
Yeah, I need that reminder too, honestly.
it's
Yeah.
a great one, right? Like I love that reminder. Our attention can be so scattered. It's so easy in the society that we live in and the way the world works that we forget that we're where it all begins and ends. Like we have it all.
Hmm.
Oh, so great.
It's already done, honestly. Just
That's the best. I need to write that somewhere and have it to be like,
it's
or
already done. Just get out of the way.
yeah, that's actually really like that idea is so relieving to my whole body. Like what we said at the start of this recording of like, just have fun. Like, remember to have fun and let go. It's like, oh, having that reminder of you just have to get out of the way.
Hmm.
Allow it to do what it's gonna do because it's already happened. It's already done.
Hmm.
Ugh. April's gonna be quite a nice month, I think.
Hmm.
It's going to be a nice welcome relief. And, there's always feelings to feel and things to work through. And I think there's also quite a focus on remembering that we're here to have a good time too,
Yeah.
which is really good.
Hmm.
Well, thank you, Haley. That's April. That is the month of
Great.
April. It's our tarot and astrology forecast for the month. We hope you guys enjoyed it and got something out of it. As always, thank you for being here and for listening. We'll link both contacts for Haley and myself below, and hopefully you guys will tune in next month for May on what's coming up in May. Thank
Yay.
you. Bye,
Bye.
everybody.